Hello, today we're going to have a look at a piece of kit to just do an initial diagnostic on it, or just a first impressions on what might be wrong with it. But first of all, a quick channel update. Since YouTube changed their rules, my channel no longer has partnership status, so it means there's certain things I can't do anymore, but also there's no revenue coming in from YouTube, but it's not a big deal. I wasn't making that much from it anyway, just enough for a couple of beers here and there. But so I'm going to carry on doing things as they were, but sporadic video releases as and when they happen. Now, I don't really do planned videos or scheduled videos or anything like that, so I'm just going to carry on with things as they are. But if you do fancy subscribing to get me up to 1,000, that would be handy, so if you do feel like it, please do. Anyway, today we're going to be looking at this, which is a Brennan JB7. It's a CD jukebox with a hard disk built in, so you can rip all your CDs onto the internal hard disk. The gentleman who owns it asked me to look at it. Well, he wanted me to show him how to use it initially, and then we discovered that it's been in storage for a while and it seems to have developed a fault, so we're going to have a look at that and see how we get on from there. It is, if we look out the window, snowing quite heavily. So it's a good day to do something indoors, I think. So let's get to it. Right, so this is the unit in question. It's quite small, quite neat. It's got a slot loading CD drive, a USB port, a display, which I think is a vacuum fluorescent display, a rotary encoder with a push button and 4 other buttons. So very simple on the front, and infrared receiver. There is a remote control which I'll show you in a sec. This is designed by a British engineer called Martin Brennan, I think his name was. He used to work with Clive Sinclair and Alan Sugar, from what I've read. He wanted a device that would store all his CDs in one place, which this is what this is. This is quite an old one. It doesn't have any internet connectivity, although it does have a copy of the CDDB, the CD database, internally, which you have to install manually, download and install manually by burning it to a CD, so it shows the age. Anyway, on the back we've got a couple of jacks for aux in, audio out, line out and headphones, and this has a, I believe, 60 watt amplifier built in. I'm guessing class D amplifier built in. So you've got speaker terminals, DC input jack, and a hard power switch there. So let's get it connected up and see what it's doing. Right, as you can see now, I've got it attached to a set of speakers. These are my Wharfedale Diamond 7.1s. The power supply is connected. It's a external power brick on this. It's a 24 volt at 3 amp, which certainly goes in line with the supposed 60 watt rating of the power amplifier. So let's hit the switch and see what happens. I can hear motors spinning. We have a display. Checking disc. You can see the JB7 logo there. It should come up with a display in a second. Okay, so we've got the time. That time is not right, but let's go into track search. Let's just do browse albums. Let's just get it to play anything. So listen carefully to the speakers. You hear the pop? I've also got some faint noise coming out of the speakers, but this is the problem. You can see the count is counting up but there is no audio. So let's do a couple of things to work out what's going on. So at this point I think the amplifier's working, but this isn't producing any audio. But the power amplifier is working. So let's do some more testing. Don't know if you can hear that noise. So my next test is to see if there's any audio coming out of this at all, and the way I plan to do that is to use the line out jack and connect it to this, which is a little Bose Resolve speaker. So we'll verify that the speaker's working by powering it on.
Battery 80%.
I have a connection from my phone.
AUX audio.
There you go. And then I'll fire up this website. This is audionautics.com. Jason Shaw, I believe his name is. So it's open. It's free to use music. And there you go. You can see that's playing. So what we'll do is I'll disconnect that, and we'll connect this to the audio out. Interesting. We'll hit play. Still nothing. Let's try the headphone jack. Still nothing. Although that does cut out the internal amplifier because the speaker stopped making a noise. So there's one last thing I'm going to try, and that's seeing if we can get any audio into this thing. Right, so this is set up to record now. So let's start recording. That says it's recording, and let's start our source. That is apparently playing. I don't see much going on. Don't really see much going on, so we'll stop that. What we'll do is we'll copy that to the USB flash drive and see if it actually recorded anything. We should be able to. Track to USB, nothing playing. Okay. Play. So we've got USB functions. Well, either that did it, or I'm not sure. Well, let's stop then. Take that out and see if it recorded anything. as you might be able to see, that is playing, but it's no audio. And if I go to play anything else, we should hear that there is actually, so that plays, but nothing else does from that Brennan. So something seriously stuffed on that. So that's where we're at the moment. So the next video I'm going to look at taking the thing apart and actually tearing it down, and then the video after that will be testing the measurements, trying to work out where the problem is, and then a possible repair. At this point in time I don't know whether I'm going to be able to repair this or not, so we'll see how it goes.